Hello everyone, today I'm unboxing 3 planes I purchased in Black Friday to Cyber Monday weekend. The first one is from Veritas. I bought it during their Cyber Monday sale and it was marked as seconds, so there should be some manufacturing defects on it. Let's see what's wrong with this plane. Some documentation. Blade is packed separately. I chose the PMV 11 version of this. Here's the plane itself. I don't see any defects on the machine's surface. There is a tiny dimple there. Not sure if that's the reason for this to be a second. So my regular Veritas, it's a different design, so I can't compare that. I don't think anything else. There are 2 very minor scratches on this part. I can't find anything else wrong. Some people call this low angle 3. Lee Valley calls it small bevel up smooth plane. Their naming scheme is a little chaotic because they have 3 bevel up smoothing planes, I think. They're roughly from number 3, 4, and 4.5 size. So this is my most used plane, a Stanley number 3 type 15. So yeah, that's about the same length. This low angle one is, or bevel up one, is slightly wider by maybe 1/8 of an inch. Blade seems to be about the same width. Well, of course, this is bevel up, so you got a adjustable mount. Handle is about the same height too. This handle is a lot more comfortable to hold. It's not as bulky as the one on their bevel up jack plane or low angle jack plane. This is just way too big for me. Well, I can't find anything wrong with this plane, so pretty happy with it. This one I bought from Jimbo Tools. Let's see how it's packed. Okay, some cupboards, a thank you note. This is a Walmart shopping bag. Okay. 3 small packages in it. I'm totally for this environmental friendly packaging. It's nice to reuse these paper packing material. Oh, today is Christmas, by the way, so this is my equivalent of opening Christmas presents, I guess. Right, I almost forgot about this blade. This is for the 2-inch wide smoothing plane by Vop. Oh, I got one extra package. You can probably guess what this is. It's a Lee-Nielsen number 4.5. This one was used. I bought it used. But it looks like it's in good condition. Blade has a lot of life on it. Brass frog with the 2-piece construction here. Oh, it's pretty smooth. There is very little slop here. Before I tighten the frog, in one of my other videos, I said the wiggle between frog and the body is a little more on Lee-Nielsen than Bedrock, and that was on a Lee-Nielsen number 7. This is a 4.5, and it seems to have the same kind of wiggle as my number 7. So it's not a individual issue. I would say on Lee-Nielsen this wiggle is more than on Bedrock. I mean, once you tighten the frog, there's no movement. Also talked about the screw being a countersink screw. If you tighten this too much, it can potentially split this part of the tote. And that is what happened on the Lee-Nielsen number 112 I bought. The front is also a countersink screw. So if you put the knob like this, all the wood grains are in this way. When you actually hit a nut or something, you will putting a lot of stress on this that will transfer to this part of the knob or the back, which has no supporting material. It's more likely to chip this part or the back out. So that's why I follow Gordon Edison's recommendation. Put the grains this way, because you are very unlikely to put a lot of stress on this knob sideways. So these unsupported parts will be safer to stay on it. The screwdriver is a little small, but I'm not putting a lot of torque on it, just a little bit. Because it's used, there are some scratches on this side. This is a little deep. I mean, if I'm buying a new one, I definitely won't accept anything like that, but for a used plane, I think it's good. A few light scratches on the bottom. This side is mostly fine. There is a deeper scratch there and a few minor ones. Some scratches and scars on the front knob. One scratch on this side of the tote. A few more on this side. This is where I don't like this handle. Is just a little too thick for my liking. Alright, that's the Lee-Nielsen 4.5. One last box to open. I bought this in Atlanta. I think it was Black Friday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I don't want to risk it, so I have it shipped to me instead of taking on an airplane. Also, I didn't have a checked bag. That's another reason. Here it is. It's a infill smoothing plane. It's actually lower than 45. lower than that too. So yes, that's 40 degrees. The blade has a maker's mark, and there are some marking on the body too. It says D. Walson. The blade says James Haworth with a J and H in it. Warranted cast steel Sherfield. I don't like this a lot. You have to back this screw out quite a bit to release this. But other than that is alright, I guess. I prefer, for lever caps, I prefer this. Right? Once you adjust how tight you want it or you need it, it's one action. It's the same pressure every time. This style in general, you're twisting it, you're applying some torque to a single spot, and sometimes that might twist your blade. It's not a comparison video, but somehow it turns into one. On Veritas, there is a little disc on the bottom, so when you're turning this knob, that disc doesn't turn, it doesn't apply a torque to the blade. This body says, oh, it might be E. Walson instead of D. Walson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stampings of E. Walson on it. And it looks like a cast body. I don't know what wood this is. I mean, the whole thing feels pretty heavy, but I do not expect this to be Brazilian rosewood or anything like that, because the grain doesn't look like it. But if you know what this wood is, please let me know. With a little heart cut out here, which is pretty nice. Okay, the blade is tapered. It's slightly thicker on the front. And that chip breaker is thicker than old Stanley's. That's a lot of work to connect this nut into the chip breaker. This wouldn't work. It's for smaller chip breaker screws. This is just a little too big. So the back of the blade is still pretty good. There's a little burr, definitely needs some sharpening. There are some very tiny pitted spots, but overall I think is good. That might be laminated. Okay, the bevel side doesn't matter a whole lot because you're using this side to cut. Bend chip breaker. That's back. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is my first infill plane, first complete infill plane, because I have some parts. This part feels a little too hard. I might give it a bigger radius here, so it's not just a hard shoulder pushing against my hand. That will be my only complaint on this. But for how much I spent on this, I'm happy. It only requires very little modification. Oh, I just noticed it's missing a chunk here. That's no big deal. Alright, that concludes today's unboxing video. I think that's it for this year. Hopefully I'm not buying more tools next year, but time will tell. Thank you for watching.